This is a tutorial on using references in the AutoPAD system. So you can see here that we've begun with just a very simple circle for our design. And what we're going to do is we're going to add channels coming off of it using the reference system. So the way that references work is that a reference is basically a block of code with a specific name that we can reference, as the name goes, in the regular script itself. So for instance, this would allow us to make part of the design and then basically copy and paste it into other areas in our script. So we're going to start out by making a new reference. We're going to title it reference 1, and we can put anything in this box, but I like to use numbers for simplicity. So I'm going to make reference 1. Now we have this new block of code that we can work with. And so what we're going to do is say we can make a new node in this code, and at angle 0, which is to the right, and make it into a rectangle. So we could say we can make it 6 millimeters long and say 2 millimeters wide. And set that, and we can give it a 1 millimeter buffer. Okay, and now what we can do is we can go back to our regular code and bring this up. So we can select our circle and make a new node off of our circle at angle 0, and we can go down here to our References tab in our bottom Properties window, and we can type in the title of the reference we want to use, which is reference 1, and the angle which we want to make it at. So another good feature of references is that we can rotate the whole reference just with this angle feature here, which you'll see come in handy later. But for now, we're just going to do it at angle 0. So now we have this rectangle channel coming off to the right. So we can go back to our circle and give it another node. This one can go off at, say, 90 degrees. And now we can select that and add the reference to that one as well, except this time at 90 degrees. So now you can see that we have this channel coming down and the reference has been rotated that much. So now what we can do is we can go back to our reference, and anything we add to this reference will be put into both of our channels. So for instance, we can go ahead and add another angle 0 object here, and say we could make this one a circle. So say we made it like a 2 millimeter circle and gave that a buffer. And you can see how as we add that, it's automatically applied to both of our references. So any change you make to the reference here is applied everywhere the reference is called up upon. And we can just go ahead and just continue to add more and more nodes to this if we want to. So here I'm going to add a rectangle going off at a 45-degree angle. So we can see how that looks. And we can add another circle at the end of that. And you can imagine how we could just continue to build this off and off and off. So that's the real appeal of references. It can save you a lot of work if you plan ahead and use them to replicate parts of your design.